One time for the one time. LCL. LCL. Okay. What's up, guys? So, how did I get here? Let me tell you how months ago you couldn't pay me to be up here speaking in front of you, but here I am. Hi, my name is Meghan Lopez, and today I want to speak to you about everything that led me up to this very moment. Months ago, I wasn't really too sure where I was going in life, but I figured it out sure enough within these past few months. So let's rewind a little. I grew up in the Bay Area, where I lived in Oakland for part of my life, but went to school in San Francisco and later on moved here. So let's talk about how my character was built, because for a while, I didn't know. I just knew I wasn't like everyone else. I spent my childhood with minimal friends and stayed pretty low-key. I was quiet and less spoken to, or I stayed to myself. You know, LCL, that infamous introvert. You see, from the outside looking in, that's all people see, which is me sometimes, but there's more to me, way more. Imagine going through life struggles and never really talking about it. It becomes a scary norm for you. As a kid, it was just hearing gunshots outside my window or being scared, or imagine experiencing you and your brother walking outside your apartment building with the police team having rifles aimed at you, telling you not to say a word, because they're after the person living next door to you. After that, going straight to school like nothing ever happened. Or even getting out of school every day and going home right after school to take care of your loved ones. I had a constant fear that I'd lose someone close to me. Again, not saying anything about how I felt or complaining, because as far as I was concerned, I'd be okay. And I'd honestly do it all over again because I love them. Truth be told, I've been an adult since the age of 11, and my parents are why I have this much strength. So shout out you guys. At a young age, I realized I had a reason in life, but I didn't know how to express it. So from those young ages and up, I was just that lost kid trying to find purpose. Went to school and work every day, and like everything was okay, even while facing struggles that life handed my way. Often related to what came with the school experience, and also other personal stuff that I've never told anyone but my best friend Gina, a literal ride or die, so shout out her as well. When I had trouble making friends, my bro and his friends were who I'd hang out with in the morning time before class. Or even in school, I'd go home so exhausted, not telling my family I had a fight or two in the hallway. I had the hardest time adjusting, but persevered and muscled through middle and high school without actually telling anybody my everyday struggles. I didn't think anybody would hear me or want to. My parents would get calls from school every once in a while because of my grades, but little did they know, I was basically teaching myself because I didn't want to ask anyone for help. Soon after high school, I fell into the state that a lot of people know as depression, and as if that wasn't enough, anxiety was also a struggle. When it was the hardest for me to deal with, that's when I started pretending the most, Just trying to look my best every single day, because it was a pretty strong mask to hide behind, only realizing I'm hurting myself in the end. So I bettered myself mentally and physically and started working instead of locking myself in my room like I usually do. With some odd jobs in between, I worked at Target, where I worked my way up as a manager. And in between helping a friend with a business, I worked my way into the medical field, where I did a few months, but I wasn't happy. So I quit later after saving up some money and told everybody I got laid off. Surprise, Mom and Dad. What can I say? My heart just wasn't in it. And even though that money was okay, I refused. I refused refused to work somewhere where I wasn't happy again. I'm glad I made that decision after all, though. It took me far. After letting that job go, I realized I didn't make the smartest move since I didn't have a backup plan. So I fell into that dark place again and started to overthink per usual. I locked myself in my room just thinking, what if I end up being nothing? Everything I have, I can't keep. I either give up easily or it's taken away from me. I really started to believe I was nothing. But I can tell you now, boy, was I wrong. Last August, after many attempts, one of my favorite people, my older brother, Rich, he's also a Europe alum, came into my room and made me sign up. I said no. He said, if anything were to happen, this is the path I'd want you to take. It irritated me so much that he said it because he knew I'd do it. And it still turned into a pretty heated argument, and I told him the program is dumb and a scam, so I'm not doing it. But I was there 8:30 a.m. sharp the next morning. Yeah, I lost the argument, so what? I saw a change in him that really made me think. He didn't finish the program the first time around, yet he came back full force, so I knew he was serious. He told me to go kill it, so I did just that. Since being in Europe, I've grown tremendously as a person, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without the 20-plus classmates in this audience right now, who I was originally standoffish to in the beginning. I had tunnel vision for a while and didn't bond with them as much until I knew I was on track with my success first. My coach, Daryl, even called me out for spending too much time in the computer lab and barely having a work-life balance. And here you are again, he would say. But hey, it paid off. My classmates finally got to know me outside a professional setting. They don't call us LC Lit for nothing, I'll tell you that much. But to be honest, I wouldn't have been able to do it without having people in my class that I really admire and learn from, or push me to do my best. My peers don't know, but I gained a lot from them. My fellow girl boss, Mel, hey Mel, taught me how to really boss up on people. Kevo, you taught me that I'm more valuable to this world than I think, and to stop focusing on the negative. So I really appreciate you for that. Jarrell, you taught me to stay prayed up. And, my boy Joe, he taught me true perseverance. Hey, Joe, he worked an overnight shift until 6 a.m. just to be a year up for another 8 hours afterwards, with barely any sleep in between. But that's just to name a few. As far as the rest of the community sitting in these chairs in front of me, some of them went through this program with anything but an easy experience. Whether that was as a single parent or even going home at night without a place to lay their head or food on their stomach. We muscled through. So I do want to say this. This program is amazing and all, but it takes hard work and dedication. And I just wanted to take time to shed light on those people because I see you. We see you. Hard work paid off though, right? I can't tell you how many times I stayed after school, stressed out over homework, especially Excel, and the public speaking portion, where every time I practice, I'd still be terrible at it. Look at me now though. Tears were shed during this time frame, as if that wasn't something I did enough already. I wanted to give up so many times, but I didn't. And I knew I was going somewhere and making progress when my business teacher told me, girl, you got the sauce, believe it. That simple remark stayed with me to this day because it came from someone I know keeps it real, and it also felt good being recognized. So shout out Ayana, because I do feel pretty saucy. I do feel pretty saucy standing up here. Simple things like that do have an impact on people more than you think. We go through O Week during week 1 of program, where we spend time getting to know each other beyond a professional level. This is also when we discuss our why. our reason for being there and grinding every day. But I'll come back to that later. 6 months of intensive training go by where we learn a majority of the same professional skills and tech skills as someone in a 4-year college within that short 6 months. And we did it as a community of people who had a bunch of odds against us and would typically have to work hard just to get half back. Soon enough, I scored an internship working at Autodesk where I told everyone I was a tech writer, but in reality, I was leading projects as a communications intern between the cybersecurity team, legal, and sales. Talk about boss. I had an amazing team. I had an amazing team that cared about not only my professional development, but my well-being too. They supported me every step of the way. And for that, I'm grateful, because support like that in a workplace is foreign to me. Europe taught me how to find my voice and feel free to express myself, because people apparently care about what I have to say. That's something I would have never believed months prior to this day. Self-doubt is something crazy, isn't it? But as of right now, I'm leaving that all behind. So, what is Meg up to now? For starters, my professional career as a Black woman in tech is taking off. I've also been working on a personal brand that some of you may have heard of, the Meghan Lopez from the ground up. So stay tuned. And also, I'm enrolled back in school to study business communications. How am I doing all this? I have no idea, but I am. With the help of an amazing team and group of mentors, I'm excited to get started. Those self-doubting days are over, and I can't believe it took me 23 years to find a voice that's this damn amazing, if you ask me. I was so busy doubting myself, while others were either intimidated by my potential, or even better, they looked up to me. I've learned many valuable lessons with the main one being, it's okay to not be okay. Diamonds form under pressure, and lotus flowers, they need muddy water to grow. I'm only human, and we're only human. So just take a step back sometimes and tell yourself that. And bro, Richard, thank you. I didn't realize until it was too late, but you may have changed my life. Don't let that go to your head. Thank you for always being there. You are my why. Thank you.